strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, correction of votes and proceedings. I hold in my hand the votes and proceedings of Friday, 22nd May 2026 for correction. Honourable members, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
page 7, item 86, Duke of Oriata. I was absent from the chamber, but we're doing public account sitting in Ada.
So, has it been communicated to the table office?
I wish to do so now.
So, check with the table office for the necessary things to be done. Page 8. Yes.
Speaker, thank you so much for the opportunity. Speaker, page 8, item 7, the very first word, referrals. But what is written here is wrong, so if it could be deleted and the proper one.
Table office, kindly take note. Page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, and 14. Honourable members, in the absence of any further correction, the votes and proceedings of Friday, 22nd May 2026 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Yes, Minority Leader.
Speaker, with respect, with your kind indulgence, I want to bring to the attention of the House, especially since the Finance Minister is here, this announcement by Bank of Ghana of charging 0.75% when somebody transfers money from his bank account into his mobile money wallet. If the Finance Minister may recall, his government decided to repeal the e-levy law, and now Bank of Ghana is introducing the e-levy again.
Minority Leader, I recognize
that's why, Mr. Speaker, because the Finance Minister is here, and now they make an announcement that they have suspended it for further
Minority Leader, with all due respect, when we operate within the rules, problems of this nature will not have it.
Very well. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, with respect, that's why I said
Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Yes, Majority Leader may intervene. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I request that everything that he has said should be expunged from the records. Mr. Speaker, this kind of lawlessness cannot be accepted. Not especially from a leader. Please, let's get serious. No, let's get serious. Let's get serious, please. Don't let us start this meeting on this note. We've been in this house. You have just come. But those of you who have been in this house, for God's sake, after votes and proceedings, is the first thing to get up and be asking questions to the finance minister. Is that the first thing to do? It's not even because, listen carefully, the finance minister is actually pleading with me to allow him to get up and respond to him. But I'm saying that cannot be accepted as a practice of this house. Otherwise, we descend to chaos and lawlessness. And you, the minority leader, you cannot lead in allowing this house to descend into chaos and lawlessness. Please, let's stop that. Let's stop that. Let's get serious as a house. We have rules. If we decide that we are not going to go according to our rules, do you know what is going to happen to you? Your very right as a minority to say what you want to say is because there are rules that say that you should say whatever you want to say. But the same rules indicate when you should say it. Please, you are the minority leader. That is not how we behave in this house. You were a majority leader. Is that what your colleagues were doing to you? Please, let's stop that. You just get up and whatever you want to say, you just say. That you are who? That you are who? Please.
Honorable members.
Mr. Speaker,
honorable members,
we cannot allow that.
I think I indicated clearly that if you all operate within the rules, we wouldn't have a problem. This is what Order 93 is saying. By the indulgence of the House and leave of the Speaker, a member may explain a matter of personal nature or make a statement on a matter of urgent public importance at the time appointed for statement under Order 67. 2. The proposed statement shall be admitted by the Speaker with or without modification. This is what the rules is saying. Are we operating within the rules? Yes.
Speaker, with respect, in responding to my issue, the majority leader had put certain things on record. I believe that it's only fair that leave is granted me to respond to them. Mr. Speaker, this side of the House concede to the fact that this House operates with rules and must operate within its rules. We operate a governance architecture which also has within it the rule of necessity. The rule of necessity and prudence can both be invoked, and these provisions, when they are invoked, they supersede procedure. I know my law in the minimum. Mr. Speaker, the rule of necessity is inherent. Mr. Speaker, the rule of necessity is inherent. Mr. Speaker, what I said must not be looked at in its form, but the substance. We have a state institution that has made a public announcement to the effect that certain charges are being levied on the ordinary Ghanaian. That if you transfer money from your account into your mobile money wallet, you are being charged 0.75%. As a parliament.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I need
Honorable
to conclude.
Minority Leader, resume your seat. Honorable Minority Leader, kindly resume your seat.
Very well, Mr.
Kindly
Speaker.
resume your
Very
seat.
well.
Honorable members, I took the time to read the rules copiously, and I think the House agree with me that we need to operate within the rules. I was with the minority leader at conclave. He never mentioned it to me that he has a statement of this nature. It is urgent, therefore he needs my leave to make such a statement. I'm completely not aware of it. Operating within the rules, everything said by minority leader on his feet is ordered to be expunged from the record. Let's make progress. Yes, majority leader.
Mr. Speaker,
Speaker, I believe that in making your orders, the majority leader responded to the record that you have ordered same to be expunged. In the spirit of fairness, if you do not want these records to be part of our records, then it is only fair, Mr. Speaker, that the very response to it must also be off our records in its entirety. Mr. Speaker, that would always only be fair because, Mr. Speaker, you cannot place something on nothing. If he says, Mr. Speaker, let us be fair. If you say that I did not follow the rule, and I'm not going to challenge you, it is part of your duty as a presiding officer. But then every single thing that was said in response with respect to the subject matter of these charges by Bank of Ghana must also go off the records, must be expunged accordingly, Mr. Speaker. That is my humble submission.
Honorable members, it is trite learning that you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. McFoy versus UAC. So consequently, everything that both leaders said are ordered to be expunged from the record, as if it does not exist. Everything that they said, after correction of vote and proceedings, everything said is ordered to be expunged from the records.
Speaker, the Deputy Finance Minister, these are matters between the leaders and the First Deputy Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that you...
I have not heard the Deputy Finance Minister.
Mr. Speaker,
I have not granted
Mr.
him the
Speaker,
floor.
I know he is the Deputy Finance Minister and carries some weight.
I have not granted him
Mr.
the
Speaker,
floor
but
to
I'm
speak.
bringing it to your attention that he himself must know that these charges that are being levied by Bank of Ghana,
Honorable
he should have come
Minority
to this
Leader,
house.
you are completely out of order. I again order that same speech be expunged from the record as if it does not exist. Yes, Majority Leader, by agreement, we have to go to commencement
Yes, Mr.
of
Speaker.
public business.
Yes, so let's...
Presentation of papers, item numbered 8. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, let's do vary the order paper and handle addendum.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yes, Minority Leader, the application is to vary the order of business and take the order
But the
paper
finance
addendum.
minister is here.
Mr. Speaker, you just spoke about the rules. It's also part of the rules to consult. Mr. Speaker, it is also part of our practice. Practices are part of the rules and laws of this house.
That's why it's rules and practices.
Mr. Speaker, he who comes to equity must do equity.
Now we're clear.
You know, But I won't demand my pound of flesh. I rest my case.
Order paper addendum at commencement of public business, item numbered A, by the minister responsible for finance. The item numbered A, B, C, and D are all standing in the name of the finance minister. So, finance minister, you have the floor. You may lay all of them together.
Annual report on the management of the energy sector levies and accounts for the year 2025. Reconciliation report on the Petroleum Holding Fund for the year 2025. Annual public debt management report for the 2025 financial year. Annual report on public-private partnership projects for the year 2025.
Honourable members, the item numbered A on the order paper addendum is referred to the Finance Committee with leadership of Committee on Energy joining them. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, are you taking the papers on the order paper addendum A, B, C, D as having been laid?
Yes, having been presented. Now I'm doing the referrals.
But Mr. Speaker, before you do make the referral, I'm referring to Standing Order 97, 2 and 3. I want to believe that the Minister of Finance is not desirous of making any brief statement or remarks on all the papers that he's laid. I want to be sure about that before I move on to 97.3.
Well, 97.3 allows you to make a request in the event the presenter of the paper did not give a short explanation. So you have the floor.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to invoke Standing Orders 97.3.
Yes, Finance Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report that I laid this morning are 4 in number. The first one happens to be the annual report on the management of the energy sector levies and account for the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, this report details how the monies received and accrued to the state on the back of all the petroleum taxes were utilized, particularly the one relating to the management of the energy sector debt recovery. And so, Mr. Speaker, the details of the report, the details are in the report and has accordingly been presented to the committee for deliberation. And when the committee invites us, we'll go and present the details. Mr. Speaker, the second one relates to the reconciliation report on the Petroleum Holding Fund for the year 2025. Right, Honorable Speaker, this happens to be an obligation imposed on us as part of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, that the minister responsible for finance must submit a report of the previous year to Parliament detailing what accrued to the state in terms of the petroleum funds and how this amount was used. And so, Mr. Speaker, I'm only presenting a report detailing what was accrued to the state and how we actually utilize the resources. Mr. Speaker, the next one happens to be the public debt report, the annual public debt report, which is largely informing Parliament Ghana's public debt situation. And Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to inform the House that Ghana, for the first time since 2013, have achieved a moderate risk of debt distress, from unsustainable debt to high risk of debt distress, and now a moderate risk of debt distress. And so it's only, all the details are in the report, and accordingly the committee will discuss that. Mr. Speaker, finally, I also submitted the annual report on public-private partnership project for the year 2025. Again, Mr. Speaker, this is also a statutory report, and we are under obligation to present public-private partnership projects to the House and also to look at future projects. Mr. Speaker, all the details are in the report, and we have accordingly submitted all the copies to the table office for distribution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, the item numbered A has been duly presented, and it is referred to the Finance Committee with the leadership of Energy joining for consideration and report. Item numbered B on the order paper, yes. Yes. Yes.
Speaker, with respect, I just want clarity. If you say the leadership of the Energy Committee should be added, what I want to know from the chair is whether or not there was any application by the majority side to have the Energy Committee leadership. If it's a joint referral, Mr. Speaker, I am of the view that if indeed we want some input from the Energy Committee, or say another committee, let me be very hypothetical. Whenever there is a referral, my view is that if we want to make it joint, we should make it joint. Mr. Speaker, the practice of only leadership joining another committee, Mr. Speaker, I don't see the added value. If we want the full committee to participate, then, Mr. Speaker, I humbly suggest that make it a joint committee so that they bring a joint report. But the situation where the leadership of another committee sitting merely to observe or participate, Mr. Speaker, they don't become part of the record. How would their input be captured? How would their input be captured? So, Mr. Speaker, I believe that if you hold a view that there's a need to have the Energy Committee members on the committee to consider this referral, please, Mr. Speaker, kindly make it a joint committee rather than just leadership of Energy Committee joining the Finance Committee. Mr. Speaker, I humbly submit accordingly.
Honourable Majority Leader.
Well, yeah, Mr. Speaker, we developed this as a mechanism to make committees not too unwieldy. When you put two committees together, the numbers get frightening, and logistically it becomes difficult to manage the situation. And yet, the committee that substantively is dealing with the matter should benefit from a related committee's knowledge of the subject matter, and that's why we say the leadership should join. This mechanism has been deployed even in the work of the appointments committee. So we have elevated it from a practice. And in the case of the Appointments Committee, we have actually made it a rule where the Appointments Committee as a whole, in the case of the vetting of ministers of various sectors, then have the leadership of those sectors joining. So this is something that our rules is clearly normalizing. So I am surprised that my brother will be, raising objection to this practice. If we insist on joint committees, it will become very difficult.
Honorable Majority Leader, honorable members, the Minority Leader in raising the issue did admit that this is a practice. I have no good ground to depart from the practice. Therefore, the referral to the Finance Committee with leadership of the Energy Committee joining still stands. Item numbered B is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and reports. And item numbered C on the order paper addendum is referred to Committee on Economy for consideration and reports. And the item numbered D on the order paper addendum is referred to Committee on Public Administration. Yes, Minority Leader, let me hear you.
Speaker, with respect, Mr. Speaker, I made an inquiry and I did not hear a response from the Majority Leader. My question was whether or not there was an application to the chair for the leadership of the Energy Committee to be added to the Finance Committee. But the Majority Leader did not respond to that.
Are you saying if there is no application by in the wisdom of the person presiding, leadership of the committee should join?
Mr. Speaker,
that cannot be done?
Mr. Speaker, the mainstay here is to get a clarification. If it is within your mandate as a presiding officer to exercise discretion, Mr. Speaker, then I rest my case. But I wanted to be sure whether they had made an application. Mr. Speaker, that was my prayer.
Yes, Honorable Richard Achampong.
Mr. Speaker, we have a difficulty here. The 2024 reports of all this, what the minister has just laid, are before the Finance Committee, of which we are going to present our report. So the first referral, we included the leadership of the Energy Committee. So this time, if we want to depart and give some to Public Interest Committee and Committee of Economy, there will not be consistency. Because already the 2024 reports are with the Finance Committee. So I think let's be consistent and maintain the referral as we did for the 2024. I'm providing information.
The order paper is talking about 2025 and you are talking about 2024.
Mr. Speaker, because those reports are still with the Finance Committee for consideration. Annual report on management of the energy sector levies, reconciliation report on the Petroleum Holding Fund for the year 2025, annual public debt management report for the 2025 financial year. He has referred them to Public Interest Committee.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think we can go on. We can go on. Later we can look at it.
Very well. Yeah. Very well. Referrals accordingly made. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable First Deputy Whip, in his argument, was talking about consistency. Mr. Speaker, raising consistency against the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and challenging the wisdom of the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that's a very serious matter. When a Speaker has exercised a discretion, then you are saying that Speaker is not being consistent. Mr. Speaker, he has to withdraw that. Mr. Speaker, he is challenging the wisdom of the Speaker.
I have an answer for him.
Yes, Mr.
Some of the committees that the referrals were made previously were not in existence. Now that they are in existence, we have to do the proper thing. So there is nothing like inconsistency here. Yes, Majority Leader. Do we come back to item number 8?
Mr. Speaker, we crave your indulgence to have the Minister for Roads and Highways to lay the papers itemized as 8A, 8B, 8C. No, the Acting Minister for Defense is here. And D. Deputy Health is here, okay. Okay, so let's say 8A and 8B should be laid by the Minister for Roads and Highways.
Yes, that's the application from the Majority Leader. Minority Leader, what do you say?
Well, Mr. Speaker, he has decided not to be consulted. If Mr. Speaker, if that is his new practice and he thinks he has his numbers, Mr. Speaker, the decision is yours. He didn't consult. And Mr. Speaker, I know you believe in the rules and practices.
Yes, Minister responsible for roads and highways. Item numbered 8A and 8B.
Budget performance report of the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry for the period January to December 2025. Budget performance report of the Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources for the period January to December 2025.
Honorable members, yes.
Mr. Speaker, the Majority Leader did not seek the leave of the House for the Roads Minister to lay these papers. In his words, he says he wants the Roads Minister to lay these papers. These are not his bona fides. These are not his bona fides. If the Minister, the Majority Leader wants to follow the rules, he must be consistent.
Honorable Minority Leader, I think you are rather not following the rules.
Mr. Speaker, I've been
when
listening.
application is made to the House, what does that mean? Under what circumstances do you make an application? And if the application is granted, what does that mean?
Mr. Speaker,
when you got up, you said he did not consult you as an individual.
Mr. Speaker, I've never used the word an individual here. These are your words, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Majority Leader got up and said that the papers will be laid by the Roads Minister. He mentioned item numbers 8A and B and said to be laid by the Roads Minister. Mr. Speaker, there is an appropriate way to make an application. Mr. Speaker, he invoked the rules this afternoon. And if he wants to follow the rules, he should do the right thing.
Leader, what was the basis of me calling you that
Speaker,
this is an application before the House?
It's okay.
Is to know whether you are amenable to the application or you are opposed to the application. Honourable members, the item numbered 8A. The report has been duly presented and it is referred to the Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism for consideration and reports. The item numbered 8B has also been duly presented and it is referred to the Committee on Works and Housing for consideration and reports. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we will take 8C.
Item numbered 8C by the Minister for Defense.
Budget performance reports of the Ministry of Defense for the period January to December 2025.
Honourable members, the report has been duly presented. It is referred to the Committee on Defense and Interior for consideration and reports. Yes, item numbered 8D.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Health is not in the chamber, but the Deputy Minister, Honorable Grace, is here. So I crave your indulgence to grant her permission to lay the paper on behalf of the Minister for Health. Mr. Speaker, in doing that, I have consulted extensively my friend in the minority, and by his gaze, he clearly is not opposed. So, Mr. Speaker, if he gets up to oppose, I don't think he should admit his opposition.
Yes, by the sign language, he is not opposed. Therefore, Deputy Minister for Health.
Annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Etua Government Hospital for the year 2024.
Honourable members, item numbers 8D has been duly presented. It is referred to the Committee on Health for consideration and reports. Item numbered 8E.
Mr. Speaker, the rest of the items are not ready. So the rest of the items are not ready.
They are not ready.
E, F, G are not ready, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.
Yes.
So accordingly, they are deferred.
Deferred, yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
But Mr. Speaker, I have consulted my colleague, and we all agree that tomorrow being the Eid Adha, this Parliament must make a statement to commemorate the day, and then I think that will be it for the day. We've agreed that there should be very brief comments, one, so that we can adjourn. People have to travel far away to join constituents for the celebration. He's not opposed, just that one statement, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Yes, let me hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, in view of the importance of the statement, Mr. Speaker, it's a religious statement. Tomorrow is Eid. My colleague discussed with me, and I felt it was only proper that, though there was no proud discussion, the statement itself must be taken. Mr. Speaker, he similarly indicated that his problem with regards to the Bank of Ghana charges was because of the procedure, how I came, and that since one good turn deserves another, we would take 1-1 so that we don't spend too much time to enable him support my application for your leave, so that we briefly discuss these charges that the Bank of Ghana is trying to reintroduce e-levy through the back door. Mr. Speaker,
everything said by the minority leader regarding Bank of Ghana is accordingly added to be expunged. And I will take it as an affront to my ruling. Yes, honourable members, before the agreed statement, indulge me to acknowledge the presence of students from Klo Agogo Presby Basic School, led by Toga Emmanuel, headmaster. They are from Ilo Krobo. They numbered 63. We also have King's Court International School, led by Glenn N.K. Samuel, assistant head teacher. They are from Ashiaman. the numbered 80. We have Senate of UPSA, Law School Student Union, led by Walter Awala, Amankatoti, Speaker of LSV Senate. They are from La Nkwantana, the numbered 23. We also have Startwell Senior High School, led by Obin Opoku Caleb, Principal. They are from Trobu constituency, the numbered 39. And we have Nunana Montessori School, led by Agbe Kelvin Lord Bell, Assistant Headmaster. They are from Ablekuma West, the numbered 30. Then we have Humanity Intellectual Academy and College, led by Dr. Wahid Musa, Headmaster. They are from Botiano English, among from the numbered 26. Honorable members, on your behalf, I welcome our dear students to Parliament of Republic of Ghana and urge them to have a fruitful visit. Honorable members, a list has just come to me. We have students from NUST, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, SRC, led by Al-Hassan Unam, SRC President, from Oforikrom, the numbered 60. You are also warmly welcome. Now, back to the statement. Standing in the name of Honorable Zuera, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity for me to make this statement on the occasion of Eid al-Adha, which falls tomorrow across the world. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of the National Chief Imam, the National Muslim Conference of Ghana, and the Muslim Caucus of Parliament to extend warm felicitations to Muslims across Ghana and the world on the occasion of the Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice. Mr. Speaker, historical developments of Eid al-Adha traces its origin to the act of obedience of Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him. As recorded in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Safat, verse 37, chapter 37, verses 102 to 107. In fulfillment of a divine command, Ibrahim prepared a sacrifice his son Ishmael. At the moment of submission, Almighty Allah intervened and submitted a ram, affirming that true sacrifice lies in obedience and trust in Allah. This event was institutionalized in Islam following the hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It became linked to the Hajj pilgrimage, where pilgrims in Mina perform the ritual sacrifice, Qurbani, and distribute the meat to family, neighbors, and the needy. In Ghana, Mr. Speaker, Islam has been present since the 10th century through trans-Saharan trade and the influence of the Mali and Songhai empires. Eid al-Adha was observed for centuries in Muslim communities in Dagbon, Gonja, Mamprugu, and other areas. After independence in 1957, the Republic of Ghana recognized Eid al-Adha as a statutory public holiday, reflecting our constitutional commitment to religious freedom and pluralism under Article 21 of the 1992 Constitution. Today, it is observed nationwide as a day of prayer, reflection, and community. Mr. Speaker, spiritual and moral values of Eid al-Adha embodies core values that transcend faith and speak to our national lives. 1, submission and obedience. It reminds us that progress requires humility before a higher purpose and willingness to act on duty, even when it demands personal sacrifice. 2, faith and trust. The story of Ibrahim and Ishmael teaches the trust in God and in just processes sustains us through trials. 3, charity and solidarity. The distribution of sacrificial meat institutionalizes care for the neighbor and reinforces social responsibility. 4, patience and perseverance. The narrative encourages steadfastness in the face of hardship and moral tests. The need to observe Eid in peace, harmony, and service to the vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's strength lies in our religious tolerance and peaceful coexistence. As we celebrate, I urge all Ghanaians, particularly the Muslim Ummah, to observe Eid al-Adha in an atmosphere of peace, mutual respect, and harmony. The festival calls us to remember those who are poor, vulnerable, and marginalized. The essence of Qurbani is not in the slaughter itself, but in sharing what we have with others. I therefore appeal to all to extend generosity to widows, orphans, aged, persons with disabilities, and families facing hardship. In doing so, we embody the true spirit of Eid and strengthen the social fabric of our nation. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the Muslim Caucus commends the Muslim community for its contribution to national development and for holding values of discipline, service, and community cohesion. As we mark this occasion, may the lessons of sacrifice, obedience, and compassion inspire all of us in Parliament and across Ghana to place the common good above self-interest and to work together for a just, united, and prosperous nation. Eid Mubarak. May Allah accept our sacrifices and bless our beloved country with peace and prosperity. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, that's the statement ably made. By agreement, we will take 1-1 and come to leadership. Yes, Honourable Yusuf, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the statement eloquently made by the MP for Salaga South. Mr. Speaker, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise due to Allah for granting us another opportunity to witness this blessed Eid Adha occasion again. A season of sacrifice, obedience, compassion, and gratitude. Mr. Speaker, like the maker of the statement rightly mentioned or stated, Eid Adha reminds us of unwavering faith and devotion of the Prophet Abraham. May peace and blessing be upon him, who submitted completely to the command of our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It teaches us the values of sincerity, sacrifice, patience, and total trust in one Creator. As we celebrate this blessed festival, we encourage all Muslims across the globe to strengthen their faith and devotion to Allah and promote peace, unity, brotherhood within our communities. Mr. Speaker, I also extend kindness and support to the less privileged in our society during this festive season. Let us all, the Muslim Ummah, and even our Christian brothers and sisters and everyone, share love, compassion, generosity with families, neighbors, and society at large. May Allah accept our sacrifices, prayer, and good deeds
and may He bless our homes with peace, prosperity, good health, and abundance of mercy. Mr. Speaker, I would like to use this opportunity to also pray for our pilgrims, Ghanaian pilgrims, and all pilgrims who are currently in Arafat today. Today is one of the blessed days in the Muslim calendar in the year. And all Muslims, as we are seated here, they are all gathered at Mount Arafat, observing the holiness of the day. And we pray that may Allah bring all of them safe back home. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister for Employment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the maker of the statement for this very important statement on the Eid, on the occasion of the Eid Adha, which is coming on tomorrow in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as narrated, this is the remembrance of the sacrifice, very high level sacrifice made by Abraham when God commanded him to use his son Ismail as a sacrifice. Abraham did not hesitate. He went ahead and told his son what he was going to do. His son did not hesitate. And indeed, both of them obeyed the commands of Allah. Abraham obeyed the commands of Allah. His son obeyed the command of Abraham. So this Eid is a time of sacrifice. It's a time of obedience. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of faith, demonstration of high-level faith in the one God that we all believe in. That when God commands, we obey. But it also has a direct consequence in how we live our lives. You cannot obey Allah directly as a human being in today's world, but you can obey commands sent to another person to you. And so in the Abrahamic religions, which Islam finds itself, it is a command that allows us to understand how faith is demonstrated through another person, but from God. And so, Mr. Speaker, on this day, it marks the beginning of the worship we go to do in the holy lands of Mecca. And on the day today is also the day of the Arafat. And it is believed strongly by Islam that it was at Mount Arafat that this thing happened. So today they climb Mount Arafat to worship Allah and to remember what God authorized man to do. Mr. Speaker, all sacrifices are because people want to obey the command of Allah, that is God. And so in the present circumstance, what we are asking everybody to do, especially those who believe very strongly in the Abrahamic religions, to begin to reflect about what God has commanded us to do, simply to obey him and to do his wish. And so on the day of the Arafat, which is today, and on the Eid day tomorrow, we are calling on all Ghanaians to unite our efforts. Allah does not exist if we don't believe in him. And so it is a call on all of us to unite our efforts to build Ghana. It is the best thing to do when you want to obey Allah. It is to say that my neighbor, I will sacrifice for my neighbor. And your neighbor is the one next to you, and your neighbor is your fellow Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, on this day, we call on all Ghanaians to see Ghana as a one single effort. We are all fighting to develop. And on this day again, we are calling on everybody to celebrate the day. That's why the government of Ghana has declared tomorrow a holiday. The Eid day a holiday, so that we can have the day as a day of holiday, get together, unite our effort, begin to reflect and soul search from where we come from and how we can build Ghana to be what it is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I wish all our Muslim brothers and sisters the best of luck. Thank you.
Yes, leadership, minority first. In the absence of anybody from minority leadership. I will then come to majority. Yes, majority leader, you have the floor.
No, Mr. Speaker, I thought we said 1-1 on both sides, so it's concluded.
Very
I was rising up on an issue. We deferred the laying of some reports, but two have just been brought, so I thought that since we are still sitting, we would just lay them and before we adjourn.
8F and G.
8F and G.
We defer E, F, and G.
Yes, but F and G, the reports are ready.
Very well. Item numbered 8F at commencement of public business. Yes, Chairman of the committee.
Reports of the Joint Committee on Economy and Development and Trade, Industry and Tourism on the 24-hour Economy and Accelerated Export Development Program.
Honourable members, a report has been duly presented and it is for distribution to the House. 8G.
Report of the Committee on Economy and Development on the conduct of monetary policy, macroeconomic review and banking sector development 2025.
Our members, this report is also duly presented and it is for distribution to honorable members. Yes, so the only report that remains deferred is item numbered 8E on today's order paper, page 2. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we agreed that because tomorrow is Eid Adha, we should adjourn early enough for members to have enough time to prepare for the day. So, Mr. Speaker, even though we haven't done 5 hours, pursuant to Order 57, I move that this House adjourns to Thursday. No, tomorrow is a holiday. So adjourn to Thursday. And on Thursday, we are proposing that we start sitting at 2 p.m. because members will be returning from constituencies. So Thursday, 2 p.m.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved for adjournment. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion on the floor. Thank you.
All members, motion for adjournment moved and seconded. It is for the consideration of the House. I will put a question. As many as are in favor of adjournment, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The House is accordingly adjourned till Thursday, 28th May 2026 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
much.